path where the stories collide. David Mathis brings truth as our guide. From every walk of life and point of view, every voice here has wisdom for you. Lessons for life echo loud and clear. Faith and love in every word we hear. Through the struggles, the triumphs, the fight, we find the light. And lessons for life. Santa speaks of joy in the giving hand. A polio survivor find the will to stand. Bold messengers don't shy from being called to share. Each person has a touching tale of care. Lessons for life echo loud and clear. Faith and love in every word we hear. Through the struggles, the triumphs, the fight, we find the light. And lessons for life. From the lost to the found and the hearts that mend, every journey has a message to send. David's voice a lantern shining so bright, guiding us home with lessons for
Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him, and it's about time you got to see him. Here he is, your host, Pastor David Mathis.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? It's good to see you. Now, right now, it's kind of snowy here in Michigan and kind of warm down there, Bob. Is it warm?
34 degrees.
34. That does sound
I'll
warm.
put it this way. It is a warm-up from the 1-degree temperatures that I had in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and the 3-degree temperature that we had in Kansas City, Missouri this past week.
Well, it's so good to see you back in this hot weather. Tonight, we're going to be looking at the Rings Ministry and Faith Fueled Garage, where if they don't know, they give cars away. Is that correct, Bob?
Yeah, both of them are ministries that God has called these guys to be a blessing to people. People go through different things in their life, and all of a sudden, they're at a point where they need a little handheld to bring them up. I should say a hand up is what I like to say, not a handout. And these men are providing that hand up for people through a blessing of an automobile.
That's not all of it. One thing is that we're involved. Lessons for Life is involved. We have expanded the ministry to Tennessee and to Michigan. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, directly their blessing success, if we can say that, their success in their ministries can some of it be attributed to what Lessons for Life has been able to do with bringing these ministries together.
Well, I'm going to say it the other way is that God's brought these two ministries together. It wasn't
That's right.
But it even helped you some, didn't it?
It did. It really did. I remember the first time that we had Caleb scheduled to come on the air, and I had, found out about his ministry and things, and I brought it to you and said, hey, what do you think about having him? And you said, well, we had Brian on before with the Rings Ministry. What do you say we bring Brian on at the same time? And so we reached out to Brian, and he was like, I would love to do that. And through it, God developed a friendship there between the two of them and between the four of us, and a camaraderie and just a great spirit of serving the Lord, together with both of those ministries. And it all came together through Lessons for Life.
Let's bring them both up and talk to them for a second. And then I got to let you go, I know, because you got to run backstage.
I do. I do, but definitely before I do, I want to make sure that as I bring both of these guys on stage, that I give them my most heartfelt gratitude for the blessing that they've actually been to myself and our family. We came through a time where we needed a vehicle, and Caleb had the vehicle, but it didn't have an engine. And Brian found the engine, and their ministry took care of the cost of it and shipped it to Caleb. And then Caleb did all of the labor of taking out the old one, putting in the new one, and everything, and having us a vehicle up and running. And it's been a great blessing to us. I wouldn't have been able to get to work every day, without that. And so that's been a wonderful blessing.
We're just scratching the surface here, Bob. We're not surface. We're not really going too deep into it, but we're going to. I'm going to let Caleb speak first, and then I'll let Brian speak, and then I'm probably going to have to let you go, right, Bob? Because you're going to have to take care of the technical stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get behind the scenes and take care of the technical side of things, because it's just hard to be able to do all of this and make it all the most professional that we need it to be. So I'm going to jump behind the scenes and let you guys continue on.
Can they talk first and then you go?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to let Caleb speak first. Caleb, why don't you tell us, because I guess it's going to happen with you, that this didn't work out like you planned it to. Tell us how, Caleb.
Well, there was a little monkey wrench thrown in the whole plan for Bob's car. We put the motor in that Brian was so gracious to provide for us through Rings Ministries. And here we are a few months down the line, and Bob gives me a call and says, "Hey, the motor is giving me some trouble." So I drove over to his house. We live within like literally 5 miles of each other. And he started the car and made the most awful noise you've ever heard. I said, "Gosh, Bob, shut that thing down." And he turned it off. I checked the oil. There was metal shavings in the oil. There was black soot all through the brake booster coming out of the exhaust as well. And I said, "Well, Bob, you're going to need another motor." So this is the third motor that this vehicle will have had put in it. So on the way home, I put out a couple of phone calls to some local junkyards here in Pigeon Forge. And before I even made it home, we had a 60,000 mile motor that the guy literally gave me half off on it to buy for Bob's car. So, through Faith Fueled and Garage and through Rings Ministry and really through Lessons for Life, you guys brought all this together. We were able to provide yet another lower mileage motor for Bob's car. And we have a third ministry now through West End Automotive in Maryville, Tennessee, that has graciously agreed to cover the cost and labor of putting him in a new motor with new gaskets and new accessories, and he should be back on the road within the next couple of weeks.
Let me understand this, because I want to make sure I got this, and everybody out there does too. Did Bob pay any money for this motor? Any of them?
Not monetarily, but I'll tell you what, he's laying up treasures in heaven for all this.
Okay, I'm going to go to you next, Brian. I'm going to let you speak for a second about your problems getting the motor to begin with and how much it cost you.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us on. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys. Just love it to death. But, this story, when you deal with these older cars, silly old cars do silly old things, I like to say. And I'm not surprised that an older engine would blow up like that. And, as God always works it out, here's this other garage, West End Garage, that's now going to do the work for them. And, they're not taking any money. There was one car probably about 4 years ago that Jolene and I and the Rings guys gave away that had some problems. And I called a garage and they fixed it for free. And the young lady who got it, she was a single mom and she was an immigrant from Uganda. She used the car and fell in love and moved to Arizona and left the car with another single mom when she was, getting on the airplane to go away. So, I just love the way that God invites people who he knows are going to love God and love people. And I just love the way it shows up. And if if you listen to the stories on Lessons for Life or that Caleb talks about, it's just God loves people and
Mhm.
he loves helping them up. So
Sure does.
I really like what I'm hearing tonight.
Now, before I get back to Bob, and make sure we understand this, that people don't know that this is some scam that you're making a lot of money of. Do you collect money for these cars you give to people, Brian?
No, we are not a money making institution. No,
How many cars have you given away?
we're at 107 now.
And I know now, I know Caleb got sort of involved in it when we got involved, and you're new at it. How many cars have
Mhm.
you given away, and how long have you been doing this?
We've given away 17 cars in about 10 months.
And that's as far back as
That's
you go,
amazing.
right?
That's as far back as we go. Yeah.
And
And you've
here's
been doing it
something
for
unique about that, Pastor Dave.
what?
Caleb's ministry was not set up to give away cars.
No.
His ministry was about providing the mechanical side of things to be able to provide somebody to work on a car for you. You have the car, you need work done. God laid it on his heart to be able to provide some services of his expertise in the auto mechanic realm to help those people. But after coming on Lessons for Life and meeting up with Brian and everything, man, God turned this into a whole different thing.
That's exactly right. Yep.
It did, and I think it's really worth making sure everybody understands this. You guys down there below are not making any money off this. Is it correct?
That's correct.
So
Yeah.
everything we talk about tonight has been provided to you through donors and some other people. You're not taking a truckload of money home, are either one of you?
No.
So all we're talking about with Bob's car and everybody else's car tonight, this was done free to them and basically free to you guys. Is that correct?
Well, and I'll share a little bit more, and Caleb can definitely go further into this, but God provided a property sale for them that
Mhm.
he's using for a new area, and I'll let them share about that. But right now, because he's not able to really do much out there, he's using some of those finances to be able to still minister and bless people, and then God will turn it back in and pour it back into the ministry when it's time. Those funds will come back into Faith Fueled. But right now, it's kind of being fronted personally through Caleb, but God provided it through the sale of a property.
Can you
Yeah.
said
So
there's a couple of garages here. Could you at least mention them and tell them how you guys get a hold of them?
Yeah. So, Brian, with Rings Ministry, if people wanted to reach out to your ministry to be able to give and contribute, they would be able to go where?
www.ringsministries.com.
And that's in Battle Creek, right? Michigan?
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Let's go to the other part of the world. Your part, Caleb.
yeah. So they can reach me on Facebook at Faith Fueled Garage. And as of next week, we have just purchased and put up the www.faithfueledgarage domain. That just happened last week. So it's moving right
Awesome.
along.
And another thing that you just got was your 501c3. Both of
Yes.
these
We,
ministries are 501c3. So, folks, when you do donate to them, you can actually write it off on your taxes. So you can get a little perk on the side there. But really, you're being the blessing by obeying
Mhm.
God and doing what he wants you to do and blessing these ministries to continue to doing what God wants them to do.
Okay, now let's make sure we understand this too. We're talking about obeying God. Can you guys tell us a little bit about how that works? That this isn't just a regular corporation doing something for women that need cars. This is something done for God. Explain.
That's right.
Go ahead. You want to do it, Brian?
Yeah, this is my fourth time on the show, and the first time we really talked a lot about my daughter being sick and then being dramatically healed. And out of that gratitude, I really felt it in my heart that I wanted, because my daughter's illness was basically a lack of mobility. I wanted to help other young women be mobile.
Hold it,
And my heart
explain that,
just,
Brian, explain
yes.
that. You said a lack of mobility. What was wrong with your daughter that led you in?
Oh, her blood pressure was all over the place. She couldn't get the blood up to her head to get up in the morning. She'd faint a lot. She stumbled, short of breath. Really, doctors were telling us to prepare for her to be bedridden for the rest of the time that she was with us. And now she is perfectly healthy and a fifth grade teacher at an elementary a couple of towns over. And out of that gratitude, my wife and I said, let's try to help other young ladies be mobile. And since we're both in the car business, it made sense to fix up older cars and give them away. And
Mhm.
we gave away the first one, and it was fun. Gave away the second one, and before you know it, now it's been 7 years. So it's been quite a journey.
Okay, how did you get all involved in this, Brian? This must have come later, right?
Caleb.
I'm sorry,
Oh, to
Caleb.
me? It's okay. Yeah, my need really arose after that big flood we had here in East Tennessee a couple years, a little over a year ago now. I saw a need kind of in that community for people's cars to that had been flooded out. Those folks needed mechanics to go in, clean the cars out, get everything detailed, flush the gas system, all that stuff. And it started kind of as a bug in my ear then, and I really didn't know anybody else was doing it until Bob mentioned Brian, and then you guys had me on the show. And once I saw what his ministry was capable of up in Michigan, I thought, there's just as bad of a need for vehicles here in Tennessee. So I started, like Brian said, I just out of the goodness of God, really started by giving away the first car, and then the second car, and then here we are, 17 cars later, 8 or 10 months down the road, and it's just growing so fast. It's kind of hard to keep up with, but you don't keep up with God. He puts the job in front of you. Like Bob said earlier, I'm actually not able to make any money right now working on cars because I'm building a new shop for Faith Fueled Garage, and we sold another piece of property that we owned and actually bought 3 cars ahead of time, and just trusting that God will bring the funds in to pay for those cars. We've gone ahead and given those cars away that we bought. And while we build the garage, any donations that we have coming in, we're going to apply back towards that money.
Hold it. I just caught this. You're building a new garage and you've given 3 cars away.
Yeah.
How do you get the money to give these cars away? Do the people that you give them to give you the money?
These 3 particular cars, up to this point, yes, we've had cars donated and we've had people giving us money. But these last 3 cars in particular, we didn't have money in the Faith Fueled Garage account to cover it. But my wife and I were blessed enough to be able to sell our old piece of property we had. And we just used the money out of our own accounts and bought 3 cars in the faith that we know that God will provide the money for those vehicles back to us at his appointed time.
Okay, let's hit to you if it's okay with you, Brian. How do you get the money? How did you get the money to give away your 112 cars or whatever it is?
We just have a very, very loyal and generous army of donators. We've been able to join up with several churches in the area. A couple of churches have thrown us car shows and given us the proceeds. As our reputation has gotten a little bit bigger, we are having to buy fewer cars, and more cars are being donated to us. Right now, we have 14 cars in our inventory that we have to work on, and we only bought 1 of them. So it's just kind of spiraled with the help of a lot of people. It's really it takes your breath away about how generous some people have been towards us.
Hold it, Brian. I want to find this out too. You have been teamed up with somebody that does something you don't do with cars. What is it? You want me to give you a hint?
Yeah.
It's to do with fixing them. It's to do with the mechanics.
Yeah.
He's into mechanics more than you are.
Yeah. Well, I have definitely enjoyed my teaming up with Caleb. Um, he's been a inspirational shot in the arm for us and our whole team. Several of our team members have met him, and Caleb actually came up to one of our benefit dinners and played guitar and entertained. And he just had all 206 people that were in the room just eating out of his hand. He was so good.
I
And
maybe I'm
yeah,
wrong. Maybe I don't understand this real well, but I thought he was a car fixer, and you didn't
well,
fix
he's
as much.
also a very talented musician. So
And a fixer of cars, does he do that?
yeah, yeah, he's
Do
he
you?
is
Yeah.
a more. hmm
I don't know if I'm hitting it right or not. Am I saying this right at all, Caleb? Help me out here.
Yeah, so Brian actually is more involved in the allocation and finding of the vehicles and finding the people that he gives the cars away to. Initially, when I started out, before I even met Brian, I've always been more of a mechanic. I never envisioned giving cars away to people until actually you guys set me up with Brian, and then seeing what his ministry was capable of, I thought I would try my hand at it, and just through God's provision. I've been able to do that, but I also mainly just do the mechanic work. I do the mechanical side of fixing cars when I can.
Okay, now that's something that you don't do as much, right? If I am right on this, Brian, am I hitting the right?
No, no, I have a team of mechanics. The city cop car mechanic for 30 years is on my squad. I also have a U.S. Air Force jet mechanic that's in my team, and so I have some very talented mechanics as well, but none of them plays guitar and fiddle like Caleb does.
Okay, I'll take all that. I was out in the dark. You did perfect there. Now let's see some pictures. I know you're building a new garage. Is that correct, Brian?
I am refurbishing one, and Caleb is building one from the ground up. So yes, we're both new garages in 2026.
And this is brand new. Is that correct, Brian?
This is an old shuttered building in Battle Creek that was pretty much gifted to Rings if we would rehab it. And so for the last 7 months, we've had 10 to 20 guys working every Saturday, scraping paint and getting rid of mold and redoing mechanicals and putting on a new roof. And we are days away from being done. That's our front room right there. We now have a conference room. And uh, the next time that we're on Lessons for Life, I'll bring a camera and I'll take you through it.
Is that a picture?
Tell us
of-
about this picture.
Well, our first Bible verse that Rings ever got on was probably Psalms 118, verse 24. We will rejoice and be glad in today. And looking at that picture there, joy is a big word that we throw around and not lightly around Rings. And one of my guys said that joy means Jesus over you. So we had that big painting, we hung it up there, and so now you have Jesus over you.
That's a great picture. It is. Are those all the pictures you have, Bob, or you have some more?
That is all of them.
Okay, we can go back and talk to you guys. Okay, let's talk to you for a second, Caleb.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing as far as with your garage?
As of this week, this coming week, I'll be breaking ground on a brand new 3-car garage, building it from the ground up myself. Up to this point, I've been working out of a single car garage in my basement. So it'll be a huge upgrade. I'll have a place to park 3 cars, a lift in the middle, and then a little waiting room off to the side. So we'll have room for people that are getting their cars worked on to sit there. Right now, they're just kind of forced to sit there in the shop and watch me. But we're hopefully going to be complete on construction by springtime, just a couple months away. And I'll be able to get that shop up and running and maybe bring in some more folks to help me out and have the opportunity to bless some more folks.
Okay, why don't you guys both tell us how you come across this property?
So Brian, you've got a property that the dealership has allowed
Yeah.
you. So share that.
Well, so we used to have what's called a B car lot. Is strictly
Are you frozen there, Bob? It looks like he's kind of
I think
frozen.
Brian may have frozen
uh,
up.
yeah, we did not need that property anymore, so we shuttered it, and it's really been an eyesore for the past 13, 15 years, and it was still available and still had good bones. And Sunshine Toyota, where my wife and I work, said if Rings would like to have it, if they could make use of it, $1 a month. So we rent it from them for $1 a month.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's
God's
amazing.
really getting it ready for you, isn't he?
Yeah,
How about you?
absolutely.
How about yours, Caleb?
Okay.
Where are you from?
Well, my property is the one that I currently live on. Up until about 3 weeks ago, I owned two pieces of property. We owned the first house that my wife and I, when we got married, we bought it. Actually, we built it. We sold it to some friends of ours after praying about it for months. And we are taking the money from that sale and putting it towards building the new shop out here at our current residence.
So here we go. Started on this program probably 10 months ago. Now we have two guys working together. He provided a car for Bob. He provided other cars since then. And the ministry is going onward. And we appreciate that, you guys. You really do.
Thank you.
We appreciate you
pleasure.
being in the program. It's been great having you there. It is. Now it's time for us. It's past the 28-minute past to say goodbye, but we wonder if we can have you back on for another pickup again before we go off this summer. Can we have you on again?
Absolutely.
Of course.
That means you have
Would
to
love
stay
to.
with us till at least the end of the year.
Right.
We really enjoyed talking to you tonight. It was a very interesting conversation. So we're going
Our
to say
pleasure.
Lessons for life.